Hello, listeners. This is Ice and Dixon, episode number 10, our Desi Centennial episode. This is one of the biggest milestones we've hit so far. My name is Ice, and with me is Dixon. How are you, Dixon?
Ice, great to be here. This is huge. I didn't think we'd make it 10 episodes.
I didn't think so either. No, if you really think about it, we've been doing this for 10 whole weeks.
Oh my God. Well, I feel there was a week off there at some point.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was probably my fault, too.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you were on vacation or something. Or
Yeah, I always take it. I got to clear that with corporate. What the hell am I doing?
Next level. Write the YouTube CEO.
Yeah. Hey, could I take off for what? Who are you? What are you talking?
Hey, we have 2 subs now, so it's a whole different story.
It is. It's a whole different. Once you start getting the big subs, and it's a whole different ballgame because you're bringing in money. You're bringing in cash for these people.
Yeah. Well, hey, either way, I mean, it's been a long time. It's been, like I said, at least 10 weeks. This is wild.
It's been a long time, but it doesn't feel like it's been long enough. Is what I'm going to say. I think this has to carry on for years and years to come.
Years, decades, absolutely, 100%.
We ain't stopping. You know, it's probably going to be funny looking back on this in like a couple years to see like where we evolved to and where we started from.
That's really true. Absolutely, I think it'll be good to see the progression, if there is any.
Yeah,
if we progress at all.
Maybe if we don't progress, we're already at our peak. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Total Sigma move. Total Sigma.
Don't grow towards your peak. Just be at your peak at all times.
It's really the lesson everybody seems to miss. There's nothing to work towards. Just be at your peak.
Yeah, just be at your peak. Yeah, don't waste your time.
So what's going on? How you feeling? I know you came down with something.
Yeah, I had the CVID.
Okay, gotcha.
We'll abbreviate it, but yeah. You know, I appreciate you for asking, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm doing better. I don't know if I sound any different.
You do sound different. You sound less stuffy.
Yeah, so I'm a little less, I'd say at like 20% stuffiness.
That's not too bad.
Last week, I was probably like 100%.
Okay.
But I have to say this, the brain fog and the fatigue is still there. Probably even worse than when this started. I feel like I'm going through like phases. And I also lost my taste and my smell.
Now, the taste and smell hasn't returned at all?
No, and it's a really weird thing. And I was yeah, it hasn't gotten any better. Probably like 4 days ago. But yeah, so like the weird thing about the taste is, and I've been trying to explain this to people. I could, I guess, sense or taste things like if it's sweet or if it's like salty. Does that make any sense? But if I didn't feel like the texture in my mouth and I just had the taste, I wouldn't be able to tell you what it was. I would just say like, oh, that thing is salty, or like, oh, this is sweet.
Really interesting.
Yeah, it's also super strange to separate the smell and the taste. Like it's totally bizarre because I can't smell at all. Like there's no sense there. Can't smell.
Oh boy.
It's kind of scary actually when you think about it, because if you get like a sinus infection, you lose your taste and smell for like a little bit, but you know it's because you're stuffed up and you're congested, and it's because you can't smell generally.
Right.
With this, it's like like I could breathe pretty fine through my nose right now. It's just the fact that I just physically can't. I just can't smell, and taste is just gone pretty much.
Wow. So during the height of the world tour of the vid.
The world tour. I like that.
We're so lucky to experience this in
Yeah.
this world tour.
Once in a while.
That's once in a while, one night only. On TikTok, there was a lot of that home remedy kind of stuff to address the lack of taste and smell. Have you explored any of these things?
Is this when you like light an orange on fire or something?
Yeah, you light the orange on fire. You chug vinegar. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I think I just made that one up. Don't do that.
Okay. I have a vinegar in my hand right now. Do it live. I'll do it live on the air. But no, I have heard of that, and I'm getting ready to try it. I really am, because I'm not enjoying this, I guess. And I
can hear you.
And you know, it's funny you say that, because I did try one thing. You spoke to the orange thing. Well, I didn't have any oranges. I had a lemon. And I'm like, well, well, you could burn the orange, but probably burning the lemon, that might not work, right? So all I
Oh, it's
did,
all citrus.
yeah, I guess you're right. But what I did, this is kind of bizarre. I got the zest of the lemon and I like squeezed it and like aired it out. You know, like when you squeeze it, it like shoots everywhere. The zest.
Right. Right. Yep.
I shot that up my nose because I don't know what I was
Oh
thinking. I'm like,
my
maybe
God.
maybe this will fry my olfactory nerves or something.
It didn't work.
Did not work. No, it did not work at all. You know what? It's funny though because I got like a slight hint of the slightest hint of lemon.
Okay. Interesting.
So I tried that, and then I nod. I sucked the lemon juice out of there.
I nod.
I really gnawed on it like a pig or something. Just gnawing on like a rind or something, or like a dog.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
God.
dog's more apropos of what we're talking about. So yeah, like a dog gnawing on a bone. That was me with the lemon.
Okay.
And I could taste the sourness, but I couldn't tell it was lemon. I'm like, oh, there's a tang on my tongue, but nothing else. That was
Right.
it.
That was it. Just the zestiness, the tang of the lemon. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Again, if
Nope.
I could not tell you, like, if I was blindfolded, I wouldn't be able to tell you what fruit I was consuming.
I wish I were there to see this hour and a half long experiment with the lemon. The total deconstruction of the lemon from the inside out.
Just me drunk in my kitchen. Oh man, I need something to work.
Now, have you gone outside? Is it sunny in your part of the country?
Not at all. It is not sunny.
Oh man.
Actually, you know what? Today was pretty sunny. We're getting like a warm front here, I think. For a little,
Yeah.
technical term for you.
UV light is supposed to be very good for everything.
Yeah, I think that no,
Yes. Yeah, that's sun. Yeah, I guess.
Sorry, I got
Or...
I got sorry, I got the COVID fog brain. You know, you could understand. I'm just saying. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Like, get the UV rays, and it starts the vitamin D production in your body, and it makes you happier and stuff. I definitely need that because I've been cooped up, and I don't really like to open my blinds. I'm kind of weird like that. I live in a neighborhood, and I don't like people like looking. You know, I'm not used to it. I never lived in a neighborhood before. I don't like people looking at my blinds.
Who's going to be looking at your blind?
I don't know. You know what that
3 feet away? Are their windows perfectly aligned? They could see through?
Well, they look out to the sidewalk, you know.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Do you even sit in the room where the blinds are available?
Well, I mean, if you angle yourself properly, you could probably look out from the street into.
Because, when this whole thing first started, they said that they were doing tests and that a lack of vitamin D was a direct correlation to how severe your vid symptoms were. I don't know if that's still true.
Shit. Well,
yeah,
that would explain a lot. It would explain a real lot.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I've just been cooped up. Yeah, I really got to start opening my blinds though. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, get some sunlight in that house for God's sake.
I don't know
what you doing.
I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to live out here.
Do you have plants? Do you have house plants?
Yeah, I do. Maybe that's why they die all the time.
Oh my God. These poor plants. Barely hanging on. So are you.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank God for the show. It's the only thing that brings me joy in life right now.
Oh, man. Well, hey, from all of us out there, hope you feel better soon. Hope you can taste soon as well.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Oh man, we got a lot of fun stuff to get into today, though. I think we got I think so too. A lot of recent interesting happenings that are going on.
All right, good. So you're gonna start us off, or
yeah, yeah. I guess we'll dive. I mean, I got COVID, but I guess I'll dive right into it. I'm just kidding.
Do you mind or?
No. It's my job. So.
It's funny. You always liked Dave Matthews, so some people would argue that you've never had a sense of taste. Oh,
wow! Oh my God!
I'm sorry.
Wow!
Right now.
Wow!
Right this second, I had to share it.
Holy shit! Wow, that was the biggest unexpected burn ever in the history of the show.
No, I enjoy some DMB.
Yeah, but they suck ass.
Why don't we? What is that song? "Lie in Our Graves," dream about what might have been. That's a good song.
Yeah, he's got there's some lyrics that are like really deep, and then we're like, wow, that's actually like a good line. And there's others that are just complete nonsense that don't make any
Yeah,
sense. I don't know.
that's
I don't
how it
know
is
what
with
he was.
everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess maybe there's a deeper meaning. Who knows?
You have to really dissect this, just like you did with the lemon.
Yeah. Oh my god.
From now on, just gonna be for the next 100 shows, deep dive into the DMB catalog, hours and hours and hours.
Oh my god. There's probably a an audience for that. I guarantee it.
Oh, 100%, absolutely.
I don't know if that's been done.
Well, we should look into that. Maybe we're missing our niche there.
Wow. Thinking of what could have been.
Exactly. See, it all comes full circle. Wonderful.
Oh man, I love it. But yeah. So anyway, and I don't know if you've heard of this, Dixon. I don't know if you heard. A lot of people are blowing up. I think this happened last week.
Okay.
So there's this thing called G4 TV. Have you ever heard of G4 TV?
Yes, I have. I've heard of G4 TV, and I've heard of that. The reason why I know about it is because of that Olivia Munn.
Oh my god, yeah. Love Olivia.
Now, from what I understand, G4 TV wasn't around for a recent period of time, or no? Has it always been on air?
No, it hasn't been around for a long time. So like when I was
Okay.
younger, it was on. I'm talking back in like, my god, they've been on for like a while. Like literally from the late '90s, they've had Tech TV, which then
Okay.
got turned into G4 TV.
Okay.
So they've been around for quite a while. But I think like probably 2008 they stopped production of everything, I believe.
Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, it had to be around that time that I first became aware of it, and it was because of that Olivia Munn. Now, wasn't she in movies and stuff too, or no?
I don't know if she acted in any movies, but I know she was featured in Maxim one time.
Oh, oh boy.
Yeah, she was a very, very attractive woman for sure. But at the same time, she was very good at her job. Like she was good being a host of, and she was on that show. You ever hear Attack of the Show? That was on
Yes,
G4.
yes, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that was
heard
like
of
a talk show. It revolved around like pop culture, technology, things like that.
Wow, sounds like they got
Movies.
that idea from us.
Yeah, weird how that.
Very strange.
Yeah, but so this show or this channel was on for a while,
Okay.
and then it got shut down and it fell into irrelevancy. I'm not sure why. I don't know if like a lot of people didn't watch it enough or whatever. But I loved watching it. Like I came home from school. It was a nice comforting, like cozy. Like oh, I'm gonna watch a TV channel about video games. Like it was so cool. Like that
Right.
was my shit back then. Being a big nerd.
Yeah, you were into that. Definitely. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
loved it. And they had the show called Icons, and they used to go about like, oh, this is what this like historic like game developer did, and like this is how they grew up through the ranks, and now like they're hugely successful and stuff like that. Like it was really cool stuff like that.
Right,
Um,
right.
And there was this show called Xplay on there, featuring Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb, and she was another
Oh, I
gorgeous
know.
one.
I
Yeah.
know Morgan Webb too. Yes, I recall that. Yeah, I remember that show. Okay.
Yeah, she had a Maxim feature as well, but we won't get into.
Oh. Deep dive. ISIS.
Yeah.
ISIS G4 TV Maxim collection.
My G4 TV host fetish. But yeah, so and that directly ties into what we're going to talk
Yeah.
about. So they revived it, and I don't even know about this. Like G4 probably should have advertised about this more. I had no idea it was coming back. Like no
Should've
clue.
said something, yeah.
Yeah, like put it on YouTube, like put ads on shit like that. I don't know. I didn't even hear about it. And I would love that. I love that like they were bringing it back and they have new hosts. They took like people that were popular YouTubers and streamers and brought them in on certain shows and stuff.
Okay.
Well, one of the people that they brought on, her name is Frosk.
Frosk, yes, I've heard of Frosk.
This lesbian woman.
Oh, she's lesbian. I didn't know that.
I believe yes.
Okay.
She is.
Okay.
She is.
Okay.
I guess that doesn't really matter, but I just wanted to just throwing it out there because she self-identifies as that.
Okay.
So anyway, she is now the host on Xplay, and Xplay has turned into like this roundtable kind of discussion. Like they all sit around and they discuss like games, and the one person that's still there his name is Adam Sessler,
Right.
and he's still there. But in one of the segments, this Frosk decides to go on this huge rant out of nowhere. and
Okay.
and she titles it "Sexism in Video Gaming,"
Oh boy.
in the gaming sphere.
Oh, here we go.
So she the the funniest I wrote down some quotes here just so we could go through it just like a little bit. But
I love.
she start so like they're all talking about this discussion. They're like, what disappoints you about video games or like the gaming industry? And all people are going through like, oh, I don't like this, I don't like pay to play, I don't like microtransactions, blah blah blah. So they get to her,
Oh God.
and then she's like, I hate the sexism in the gaming industry. And then she goes on to say, people will talk about how I'm not as bangable as the past hosts, referring to Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn, who were very
Right.
attractive, right?
Right.
And right there, I have a problem because I can't really like see this happening. Like maybe like 1% of the people that watch G4 TV are like weirdos and stuff. But like, do you really think that there's like she's constantly flooded with people saying like, "Hey, I don't want to have sex with you." Like,
Right. Right. Yeah. That's exactly what she's saying is happening. Correct. Yeah.
yeah, and even so, like, I don't know why would you let that bother you?
Yeah. Exactly.
Maybe I'm coming at this from like a really like maybe like non-sympathetic view, but I was watching the show and I'm like, oh boy, I can't wait to like hear about these people talking about video games, and it just comes out of nowhere and she just starts raging at the entire
Oh
audience
God.
of the G4 TV, what little is left, and she's like
Yeah. Exactly.
she's like disparaging all these people that watch it. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Let's. I wonder if Olivia Munn did she complain about saying that like that guys think that she's hot, whatever. Is that
No.
did that ever happen? No.
No,
And I think it's yeah. You made like a good point when you said Olivia Munn was attractive, but you said but she was also really good at her job
yes.
about discussing games and things like that.
Yeah, she was
Right?
like entertaining and she just seemed like a nice person. Like
But in
yeah, no,
right.
go ahead.
I was gonna say yeah. So, but in reality, I'm tuning into G4 and I'm tuning into video games, things like that. That's like to be removed from like society and this kind of like
Yes.
mindless entertainment and everything
Yes.
else. And here she is bringing this up in real life. It's like, oh man, if you weren't turned off by her to begin with, because
Mm-mm.
evidently she's not bangable in her words, you're definitely 100% turned off.
Yeah, exactly. I don't I like why you bring up a great point too. Like people watch this to be like totally removed, but we just got to inject these fucking politics into everything, and it's so tiresome. I don't care if it was from like a leftist perspective or like on the right
Right.
perspective. I don't want to hear about this. Like
Right.
if she started talking about like Second Amendment rights and she came at it from like a right wing, like I'd be like, why are you talking about this? I
Yeah.
don't give a shit. Like just
Yeah. This isn't the platform. Exactly. Yeah.
just caring, and like you're essentially talking like complaining about you getting trolled online. And then one of the things that she said Morgan Webb and Olivia Munn didn't exist to be easy on the eyes for you, but my my perspective on this is, yeah, they kind of were. Like, okay, they were hired for their talent, like don't get me wrong,
Right.
but I
Right.
guarantee you the execs and producers at G4 TV at the time were probably like, hey, we need to have some like good looking women on this show to keep people watching.
Right. Right.
That's
No, 100%.
that's
Yeah.
just that's just the reality of it. And they were really good at their job. They really, and like Morgan Webb would get shit all the time saying that like she wasn't like a real gamer, quote unquote, or whatever, that she was
Right.
just like a hot girl who was faking it. But she was like, she was really into video games, and like she did a great job on Xplay, but she got shit too. But never in the entire history of it did she go on like a 5-minute angry rant to the entire audience and act like the 1% that was criticizing her was the entire audience. That's the problem I see with this. Like,
Yeah.
if
Right.
you have a problem, go like do it on your Twitter or something. I don't know.
Right.
That's what I think about it.
Well, speaking of her Twitter, didn't she delete all of her tweets?
Now that's another thing. That was the fallout of this whole thing. So,
Oh God.
and apparently she said a lot of disparaging things. Like she apparently is some kind of like man hater, and she's like
Oh
she's a
boy.
communist and
Oh,
feminist
jeez.
and all this stuff. So, but she deleted all those tweets, so like no one has them anymore, unfortunately.
Oh man.
Yep. So like right up she got attacked, like she deleted everything. But it What she said next, though, really made me think that she's just complaining to complain.
Okay.
Because then she said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but she said, the sexism doesn't have to be obvious. Our reviews are written by the same writers, but I will get more flack if I read the same thing, even if Adam Sessler reads the same script. So,
Jeez.
but I don't, first of all, I don't buy that. And second of all, maybe people just don't like your takes because, like, they're stupid. Like I was watching one of the shows and she was like, well, I like pay to win games because I don't want to be like I don't want to have to grind and compete with the sweaty nerd who's playing 40 hours like a week. And I'm like, that's, first of all, you're insulting like the people that give you money and watch your show to begin with.
Yeah, really, yeah.
And then I'm like, literally no one has this opinion that no one supports pay to play. Like that's unbelievable.
No, yeah, literally no one. No, absolutely not.
But Dixon, the thing I'm saying, like, if I was to criticize her and say, like, no, like, Frost, that's a really stupid take. Like, you shouldn't be able to pay to win games while other people are working hard and like grinding, whatever you want to call it.
Right?
Would she say like, oh, well, you just think that because you're sexist?
Yes,
Like that's
exactly.
That's the bottom of this whole thing, and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, because you automatically lost the argument because now you're sexist. You're a sexist pig who objectifies women, and that's it. And I know what I'm talking about, but you don't because you hate women.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Maybe she's just annoying. Maybe she's just annoying and she sucks.
maybe just come off as off-putting. Like, do you ever think of that? And it's not because of like some unconscious bias. You are reading that into like maybe look into yourself and say like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have these dumb. Maybe have your opinion. That's fine. But then if someone attacks you, I don't care what it is. If someone attacks you about it, don't think that like, oh, well, they're sexist against me. That's so dumb.
Yeah. If they don't like if they don't like your opinion, then who cares? I guarantee if you just let all this go, this wouldn't even been a thing. It wouldn't even be a big deal.
Exactly. Why do you even care? And I could relate to this directly. I remember a while ago I uploaded a video where I shit on a game that was like relatively popular at the time. And I got shit on like a lot for it. But I didn't jump and say like, "Oh, well, you're stupid, you're an idiot." I read the comments they were calling me an idiot, saying I was the R word and I didn't know what I was talking about.
I was the R word. How dare they? Unbelievable.
I know, right? Can you believe that?
No
but
way.
I didn't lose a wink of sleep over it, and I just said, "Huh, well," I'm like, "Well, that's a dumb opinion," and that was it. I didn't care.
You moved on.
No, I didn't attack him. I didn't say anything. That was it. And that's the problem. I feel like people like this, they just can't take criticism for their opinions.
Jeez. And then automatically the defense mechanism goes up of sexist, whatever it is. And it carries over in every other aspect. You see AOC, they she was in maskless in Florida, and they said that the reason why they were attacking her is because they wanted to date her.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, you have to look into that. It's kind of weird.
Oh my god.
The whole thing was weird, but the burn against her was kind of weird too. Like the guys who did it was like a weird scenario all along. But that was basically her thing, was like, oh, you want to date me, so why are you attacking me? That's why you're attacking me.
That's bizarre. That's
bizarre.
That's a pretty lame comeback too.
What's worse than like Neil Young saying, "Oh yeah, you suck too," like whatever, it's all good. Like that's basically at the same plane. Everybody's getting so butthurt. What's going on?
I know. Why do we have to? Why can't you just accept that people either don't like you or don't like your opinion? Can we have differing opinions without being fucking attacked and saying, "Oh, you hate women," or "Oh, you just say this because you're jealous and you want to date me"? Like what? No, that's not true.
It's just such a lack of self-awareness. And you see it like in different things too. Like even like on TikTok, have you seen that trend? And I think we discussed this maybe, where they're self-diagnosing. People are self-diagnosing themselves with mental illness.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started with that. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Unfortunately, and it's like there's another excuse. Oh, I can't meet you for coffee, and I ghosted you 15 times because I have this mental illness. Like get over yourselves.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
No, you don't have you're just an asshole.
Yeah.
Like that's
you're just an asshole. Yeah. You're just a bitch.
Yeah, like oh wow, that's oh my god. Could you imagine, like if I ghosted someone 100 times, I'd feel bad. Can't you just like say like, hey, like I'm not interested or something? Just say that, or like, hey, I don't want to hang out. Just say that.
Yeah, I've always felt when I've in the times that I had to ghost somebody or drop off whatever, I'd be like, hey, you know what? This is great, thanks, but just not going to work out. You
Yeah.
know, and then it's like, and then I block them, of course, because I don't want to be responsible for that. But still, you're something there. You're not going blind. You know, it's
Right. Yeah, you're not
yeah,
going blind. Like, you know, like you get it. You
yeah,
understand because they're relaying some information to you. But I don't know.
no,
Yeah, the whole thing about like, oh, I have these, I'm self-diagnosed with these 20 mental illnesses, and like I'm neurodivergent in like these 50 ways. Like, come on. Come on. Maybe
oh,
like,
man,
I don't know, go to therapy or something if you have like that much social struggle. Honestly, cuz like
yeah,
I don't know. That stuff really pisses me off for the people that actually do have it, and it's just
oh
become
yeah,
like a stupid TikTok or Twitter trend just to have that in your bio. I think we talked about this before. It's like you have your pronouns in your bio, and then you have all of your self-diagnosed mental diseases that you have. Like, that's the new thing.
oh
It's
my
so
god. And maybe it's true, but then why do we have to know? Why is it on TikTok?
yeah.
Why is it on your Twitter feed? Why are you flipping out about the 1% that calls you out for having terrible takes?
Yeah, I don't know.
You
It's
know?
so it's really really stupid, and I don't agree with that either. I think you're kind of like objectifying like the whole, like, oh, look at me. It's almost like attention seeking. If I had a
Oh,
serious
100%.
mental illness, I'd be like, hey, maybe I should go to therapy or like seek medication or something like that. Don't sit there and
Yeah,
like don't try to get help and just yell at everyone for not seeing like your self-diagnosis. Just go get help. Like, if you
right,
really have
right.
these things. I don't know. That's the way that I see it.
That's pretty logical. Ice.
Little too logical. Um
That's what it seems like.
yeah. One more one more thing that I wanted to point on here, which might get a little racy here, okay?
Oh boy. Oh no.
So Frosk also said
Oh no.
Frosk also made a point to say like a lot, like, so, she said a lot, but I don't actually believe this is true. But she said some commenters would point out the fact that they used to get
Oh
off
boy.
to Olivia Munn and Morgan Webb, and they don't get off to Frosk.
Oh
If you
god.
know go the full way, if you know what I mean.
Oh boy.
Do
Oh
you
no.
if you let me just ask you this. If someone, let's say,
Why do I
let's
always really get the tough
I
questions
know,
on
yeah,
this
I
on this
really
program?
I really put you in an awkward spot. Let's say you're a host of G4 TV.
Okay.
And
Okay.
or like you were the attractive host in the past.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, Ice, like, I don't want to see you. Like, I used to get off to Dixon though. Like, Dixon was my shit." Would you feel like that's weird? Would you be okay with that if like all these girls were saying like, "Oh my god, like I used to get off to Dixon. Like he was so attractive." Would you be okay with that? Because the thing of what I'm trying to say is Frost says like that's weird, but I'm like, if a girl said that about me, like, I wouldn't care. Like, first of all, they're
Yeah.
not coming up to me on the street and telling me that. These are just
Right.
faceless people online. Like, I don't give a shit.
Right.
But at the same time, I wouldn't complain about it.
I'd
You know
have
what
to
I
agree
mean?
with you. I'd be okay with that. I think it'd be a little, I mean, extreme,
Well,
but
yeah,
nonetheless,
I guess
it's
so. I
it's
guess, yeah.
it's one of those things. But yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that. So, but I guarantee you, the fact that I guarantee you, if some, let's just say,
Mm-hmm.
segment of the population
Yeah.
that shares her thoughts and feelings towards women, if they expressed how lovely she was or how they
Mm-hmm.
get owed to her, I'm sure she would celebrate that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It'd probably be a big joke. Like, oh yeah. She'd probably love it. She'd probably
Oh,
love it.
absolutely.
I think almost think it's the fact of like maybe a little bit of jealousy in there.
Right.
Maybe.
Oh,
And like,
100%. Absolutely.
and her just perpetuating her hate of men, I guess, because it kind of seems that way. It kind of seems like she just doesn't like men.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know.
that's definitely harbors some ill feelings against men. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, and I mean, I could totally agree. Like, if someone's coming up and like estrally harassing you in person, like that's totally different. But like, at the end of the day, at the end of all of this, I just think we all gotta just gotta get a little thicker skinned and just like tell these people off like on your own time, and don't do it on like a show that pays you to review video games, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So, like, could I get where she's coming from? Yeah, if I stretch it, I guess. But I don't. I think it's like I would not. I myself would not respond in the way it wouldn't bother me in the first place, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
So anyway, I guess we'll get on to the next topic that we have, the next thing on the docket.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard about this. This is the infamous r/AntiWork. Now, have you ever heard of this subreddit?
Not before this. I'll be honest with you. I did not hear about it, and I'm surprised to see it's been around as long as it has. It's been around for quite a while.
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of went through like evolutions. Like it's gone from like people posting about their bosses being assholes, and like they'll take the text messages, whether they're real or not, I don't know, that's up for debate, but it'll be like the boss saying like, oh, come in you got to work for 24 hours today, and then like the person be like, no, like you're an asshole, and then it'll get like 1,000 upvotes. Like that's pretty much what's on AntiWork now. But it's also been co-opted into this like people shouldn't work at all kind of thing, and you should like no one should have to work, and we should all be given like living spaces and things like that, which I get. Like I could follow to a point. I mean, there's a lot of asterisks there, but like I understand what they're saying. Like no one should have to work for like to be given shelter, essentially.
I hear you. I'm with you.
Which I understand what they're saying, but man, Fox News wanted to do an interview with these people that thought this, and there was actually a vote on the subreddit, and it said, do you think we should do this interview? And a lot of people said no. And this person was certainly not elected to be the forefront of this entire subreddit.
Face of the subreddit.
Yeah, the face of the subreddit. And then this happened. God. Yeah, and would it surprise you if I said that they were a non-binary transgender person, 30 years old, who does not have a career and walks dogs? Would that surprise you if I said that was the face of this subreddit?
No, but it seems appropriate. It seems that that is the face of the subreddit. I think. I really hate
to I hate to say it, but like as soon as I heard about this thing before I watched the video, I had a picture in my mind of who this moderator was, like what they looked like the archetype, and I watched it. I'm like, yep, that's exactly what I pictured.
Makes total sense. Absolutely.
Yeah. So they went on this interview with I forget the name of the host. Jesse Waters. Yeah. You know him.
He was on the 5.
Yes, yeah, he was on the phone. Yeah, anyone would know him to see him, definitely, even if you didn't know his name. But he kind of tore this. I don't even know their name is Doreen, so I don't know if it's she. God. Is it she? See, this is.
Why would you pick Doreen? Why would you pick that name?
Well, who knows? That's herself. That is their self-appointed name.
Oh my God, the worst name you could possibly self-appoint yourself.
Literally, that's like a 50s name, isn't it? Like Doreen.
Yeah, 50s. Yeah, like real like a frump name, like like real like.
Yeah, frumpy. That's a perfect way to describe it.
God, Doreen. I'm nothing against any of the Doreens. If your name is Doreen, comment below.
Yeah,
but
I love it. It's always comment below. I mean, my name is Doreen.
Oh man, I love it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not an attractive name.
It's not at all. Let's be honest here. We could all agree on that. Yeah, they went on this interview. I think they self-appointed themselves to be this, because I think Fox contacted them, and instead of saying like I'm going to listen to the wishes of this entire subreddit, it's 1.6 million people were subscribed to there. Wow. 1.6 million active users. Yeah. And they said, well, I'm going to go on there anyway, pretty much. And they did, and it was a complete and utter disaster. This person, and I'm not saying this to disparage anyone that's like this, but they were clearly like autistic, and like I could see some things in there that I do miss. Like it was hard for them to look into the camera. They couldn't make eye contact, like things like that. Like that's like textbook. That's in the
Mhm.
the whatever the pamphlet is that you look through for the symptoms. I don't know, the ND5 or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know.
The pamphlet.
Yeah. There's an I didn't I don't mean like a pamphlet you pick up at like the hospital. It's or like the God damn it.
The minute you get diagnosed with autism, here's a pamphlet. Get the hell out of my office.
Oh man. But no, see, seriously, like they were neurodivergent, and I'm not making fun of that, but it's probably like the worst. If you want to make a splash into the public, that you don't pick someone like that. I would not go up there.
Right.
Like I would not. I would be flailing all over my words and things like that. But anyway, it was a total disaster. They came out. They said that they still live with their parents. They don't have like a full-time job. They walk dogs for like 10 hours a week, 10-hour work weeks. And then it was just a total flub. And then like the interviewer goes like, "Oh, well, what would you like to be?" And they go, "I'd like to be a professor of philosophy." And he's like, "Well, how many hours?" Like, I think he said to the effect, like, "Well, how many hours do you think it would take to like get to that?" Like, it would take a lot of work to be a fucking professor of psychology or like philosophy or whatever.
Yeah.
But it just kind of he tore down like the whole movement and the idea of like people should work like 10-hour weeks or something like that. It was yeah.
I heard some Redditors on the subreddit were unhappy with the performance.
Very, very, very unhappy. Yeah. They actually had to lock it down.
All right, it's private now, right?
I think it's back up. But it was private for a little bit because they were getting brigaded and stuff. And what's really funny, during the brigading, this Doreen said, "Well, you're just attacking me because you were transphobic."
Oh my God! Again with these labels.
Exactly. So it ties back into what we talked about before. It's like you can't criticize someone just because they're of like in like a minority or something like that, or they're different than the social norm. Like that doesn't. That's so stupid. I'm sure the word for it, like it's not a straw man or what, I don't know. I know that there's like a debate word for it, but I'm not a debate bro, so I don't know. But it's instinctually it's just stupid. It's a dumb comeback. You can't just shut down any kind of differing opinion just because like you use that excuse. Like, oh well, you're transphobic. Oh, you're sexist. Right. So stupid.
Yes, it's just, but it just takes. I feel like it takes the value away from the argument you're making.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, like it's all right. Well, here's my argument. Oh, and it's no good. Well, you're just transphobic or whatever it is. Well, then why is my argument shitty? Then you have no response. You know what I mean? It devalues the whole process.
Right, because it just shows that you can't come back with anything. You can't defend your own position, and you just have to come out with saying you're transphobic. Like that's
right.
That just shows that your position that you have is probably a weak one. You probably haven't thought about it enough to like come up with a defense. So you just have to go on the attack and just blame them for their credibility and just say they're something that they're not.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. So yeah, that was a whole thing there, and then it came out that there was a lot of things that came out. They decided to come out and address some allegations that they were a serial. I don't even know if I could say this without getting.
Oh no!
They were serial R word.
Oh no!
Take that how you will, but
oh boy.
Yeah, they went on this whole like 5-page thing that they posted on their Facebook. And it was pretty telling. This person definitely has some issues. And
definitely some issues for sure.
Yeah, and it kind of shocks me that they were even a moderator to begin with. But I guess it doesn't really surprise me because like Reddit moderators, they kind of, I feel like a lot of them are like this. And I'll put that in the nicest way.
Not necessarily a picture of health or lack of pronouns in the bio, that kind of thing.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like you're kind of taking a quote unquote like a position of power, and I feel like these people are probably terminally not in a place of power, like not very Sigma, And I think they take this and they just kind of like run wild with the power that they get able to ban people off of a subreddit. Like that's like the hype for them. Sadly, like that's like the best thing they're ever going to do in their life. And they do it for free, and they just live on their Reddit app and just patrol the subreddit that they're a part of. It's kind of sad, but
I did like the one thing she said. She said laziness is a virtue.
I
kind of respect that. I kind of like that. I'm like, all right, within moderation, I think that's true.
Yeah, no, again, I could agree with some things that this subreddit stands for, but at this, like, I really do like the idea that someone shouldn't have to work to have basic shelter and like running water. Because I understand there's a lot of people in like bad positions, but I feel like if you give them shelter, that's one less thing that they have to worry about, and then they could probably start getting back into the workforce somehow.
I hear you. Like that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Because we've all been around bums before, and like all they do is hang out and ask for money, essentially. But I feel like if you eliminate the one thing, like if you just give them shelter and you're like, hey, here's shelter, and then if you had like some kind of program to like put them in, I don't know, work at like a soup kitchen to start or something, like get their life going, it could probably help them out a little bit. I don't know. That's the way that I see it, and I think AntiWork kind of stood for something like that. But I don't agree that like everyone in the world should not have to work, because
right.
I'm talking like basic startup. Like you get the shelter for like a few months, and then you have to like leave. And
right, there's gonna be a time limit on these kind of things. We're not running a charity here.
Exactly. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. But I feel like that would, right. You know what I mean? I feel like that would probably help out a little bit. I don't know.
No, I agree with that take. I think that's true.
Well, thanks, Dixon.
You're welcome.
I'm glad we ended on a nice note there. A lot of negative things were getting thrown around, but yeah. So
yeah, too negative.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all the topics that I had for today. Man, I feel like when I bring topics in, they're just not as good. I feel like I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm like, oh, these are gonna be so great to talk about. I got so many things to say, and then like, I don't know, I just don't. It comes out, I'm like, that wasn't that good.
Oh my God, will you shut up?
I'm trying my best over here.
You're doing a great job. Don't you want to talk to us about your keto?
Well, yeah. So ketogenesis, if you will.
Oh.
It's a diet that has worked for me greatly in the past. Greatly. So I am starting keto again because I've gained a little weight during the pandemic and like working from home. You know, I get lazy and I just kind of sit around, and if I get bored, I go into the fridge. That's what it is, right?
What's your preferred snack? What do you grab?
Oh my God. What don't I grab, I guess is what you could say. I'm a big sandwich and chip guy. I could eat sandwiches and chips.
Yeah, you love sandwiches and chips. So do I too. I love a good sandwich and chips.
Oh my God. I could literally eat those all day, every single day. It's constant. Oh, maybe I should make breakfast sandwiches, ham and cheese sandwiches, chicken sandwiches.
What's your preferred ham? What kind of ham do you use?
I like honey ham, honestly.
Oh wow, interesting. I like the cheapest you can get. I love cooked ham.
Cooked ham is good. All hams are really good, honestly. They all got their different flavors and aspects to them.
Yeah, they're pretty diverse. Diverse when it comes to it.
Yeah. So yeah, I threw all that in the trash, and I said, well, I'm gonna go back on keto.
Jeez.
And in the past, keto's worked for me. I lost 50 pounds in 3 months. It was.
Wow, 50 pounds.
Yeah, I was like super hardcore with it. But I know a lot of people, if you're listening to, because I think this would be a nice little segment to cut out, but I know a lot of people listening to this will say like, well, it's a fad diet. All you're really doing is cutting calories, blah, blah, blah. And like that's probably the case. That you're still working on a caloric deficit, because I feel like if you look at the physics of it, that's probably how it's working. But I will say, out of any diet that I've tried counting calories, I've tried all that kind of bullshit, which, you know, it works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. And the problem is because if I'm eating like rice and chicken, or like even quinoa, like healthy stuff, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I don't get satisfied. It doesn't keep me satiated very long. And then the next thing I know, I'm like, well, I think I have like 300 calories left. Let me have a sandwich and chips. And then before you know it, I'm like 800 calories over what I'm granted for my weight loss. And then
yeah.
and I'm not losing anything. And then the weekend comes and I'm like, oh, well, you know, me and my girlfriend we're going to go get pizza and we're going to go to the bar. Like,
Okay.
oh, I have a cheat day. But it just, that mindset doesn't work. But if I put myself in the mindset and I separate it and say, like, okay, you cannot have bread, you can't have carbs. You could eat whatever else you want, but you can't have carbs. And I put myself in that mindset and I start doing it. And then, like, within like a week or two, you see the results and how much weight you lose. You kind of get addicted and you're like, wow, this actually fucking works.
Interesting.
Even though it's crazy. Like, I'm eating, like, I'll have chicken salad. I made like a pot roast and I made mashed cauliflower, which is delicious.
That sounds good.
Bacon and eggs. Just a lot of,
Yeah.
and and like, you make like Parmesan cream chicken breast.
Oh,
Like
that sounds
things
really good.
with like broccoli on the side. And you find yourself, you're cooking for yourself all the time. And you really start to like think about food as like a fuel and like how it's affecting you and things like that. And it just keeps you satiated longer. And you're still eating like tasty foods.
Huh.
And it just works for me, I guess, in that aspect. And I was losing probably like 2 pounds a week when I started.
Wow. Interesting. Now, do you find it difficult to maintain the caloric deficit while you're eating things like this on keto, or no?
No, and that goes back to what I said, because I feel like I'm satiated. So it's like I have
Okay.
I have like bacon and eggs for breakfast or lunch or whatever, and then I don't want to eat for a while because I had I had bacon and eggs and like it's super filling to me.
Wow. Okay.
If I ever want something, I'll have a bite of like chicken salad that I made. And what is that? Like maybe 100 calories if I start snacking out of the tub of chicken salad and put it away. So like that's, yeah, like that. and like that's it. I'm like, "Oh, that was pretty good." And then I put it away. And
Okay.
that was it. And then I have my pot roast and my vegetables for dinner. And then I'm full.
Now, how do you make the pot roast? You make it in the crock pot?
Yeah, I do the Mississippi style. You ever have that? Oh my God, it's so good.
No, it sounds great. You gotta send me some of these recipes. These sound really good.
Dixon, what you do? I'll
Yeah.
explain it really quick. You take a chuck roast, you get a stick of butter, you plop it on top. Then you get a packet of ranch and a packet of au jus seasoning. You dump that on
Oh.
top. You get pepperoncinis. You put the pepperoncinis all in there. Maybe
Oh
dump a
yes, I've heard this.
little
I've heard about
pepperoni
this.
juice, and then
Yeah.
you slow cook it. It's so good.
It's like, can you put it on for like 8 hours?
Yep, 8 hours, and then it's good to go.
Wow. So that sounds really good. Now, what do you have? Like, I'm a big snack guy. Like, I love snacks. I'm always snacking on something. What do you have for snacks, or do you not have snacks?
Now that's a difficult thing. So like
Oh,
if I snack, it's not really difficult, but like I say difficult in that there's like zero snacks when you're on keto. You could have like a salad, I
right,
guess, or you could
right.
have. I have pepperoni and Cooper cheese. I fucking love Cooper cheese, and I
Oh,
roll
I
them
love
up.
Cooper cheese too.
I
Yeah.
roll that up in pepperoni or whatever lunch meat, and then you just eat that, and you're
Well, that
good.
sounds good. What about pork rinds? I heard that's big on the keto thing.
Now that right there is dangerous to me,
Uh-huh.
because the pork rinds are there's absolutely zero carbs in pork rinds, because it's fried pork fat, right, or pork skins or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
But the problem is they are pretty high in calories. You could probably still like eat a lot and be full and you'll be fine, but I tend to try to stay away from that. Like I'd rather eat like Cooper cheese and lunch meat, and then I'll be full.
Yeah. I'm
But
with you.
yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that you'll find yourself making. Like just today, I saw a Big Mac salad, and I'm like, oh, that looks fucking amazing. Like I want to try
Yeah, that
that.
sounds good. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So there's a lot of interesting things that you could make, and there's a lot of you'll find yourself making a lot of different things, and you'll be like, oh my God, this tastes like so good. I don't need like a piece of bread with this, or you just kind of forget about it, honestly.
Wow. Interesting.
And here's another thing. When you go out
Uh-oh.
to the bar, a huge benefit of keto, when you go out to the bar, if you love liquor, then it's the best thing. If you love liquor and chicken wings, you could eat that all you want. When I was on keto and I lost
Wow.
50 pounds, I would eat that probably at least once a week. I'd go out to the bar, I'd get a whole thing of wings, I'd get like Bacardi diets, and I kept
Right.
losing weight. It was like it was at a point where it almost felt like I was cheating because I was like,
Wow.
I can't believe I'm eating a dozen wings and like celery and blue cheese and drinking alcohol and still losing weight. It was crazy to me.
Wow. This sounds like a commercial. You should be on a commercial for keto.
I could definitely advertise it, but one thing I always say is like I totally understand the naysayers. I get that some people say like, "Oh, it doesn't
Mhm.
work for me. Oh, you should have your carb." Whatever. Like I did it. I was fine. And the thing is, I kept the weight off for probably a good like year and a half. Maybe even longer
Wow.
than that. Cuz a lot of people say like, "Oh, you're going to gain it all back," which I eventually did, but that was because that was and I noticed it. It was because I stayed home and I started working from home because I used to walk on
Okay.
breaks and stuff, and but now it's just like I got complacent and I just
Right.
started abusing food again and just eating when I was bored because I was home
I,
all the fucking time. So that
right.
hurt me. But this time's different. This time's different.
This is it. This is going to stick. Well, that sounds like a great plan. I might have to give this a shot. Definitely some of your recipes I'm interested in. I'd be interested in trying some of those things.
Oh, absolutely. I'll send them to you. I think even if you go like a low carb route, I think cutting out the carbs really helps you maintain your hunger levels. I think it helps you with that much
Okay.
better. Yeah.
I'm with you. Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
Huh. Yeah. Because I could definitely go for a slice of bread every now and
Oh my god, don't even get me started. it's it's great though because I get in like a mind space when it like I was at a point when I did this the first time. I was like we would go out and like people would be eating pizza. I wasn't even phased. I almost took it as like a I didn't brag about it, but I was like, yeah, like I don't fucking need that. I'm down like 40 pounds. I'm doing great. Like I'm just gonna eat these chicken wings and I'm not gonna worry about the pizza and the beer. And
then.
it wasn't a struggle. It was more of like a I'm proud of myself that I got this far.
Right.
I don't need this now, and that was it. Like
Well, that's very something to aspire to. That's wonderful work.
yeah, well I appreciate it. Now Dixon, I know I've been blabbing on this entire episode. If when I put this in the editor, I'm gonna see my waveform just be like huge and just like little blips of like you talking throughout this whole thing, and I apologize for that. But what have you been doing any fitness related things?
Uh, sort of. You know, well, I last week got back into the gym. Haven't been too successful with this week because we had to bring all of our great subscribers some great content tonight, so I kind of pushed it off.
Oh
But
wow, okay.
I will say that I've been, getting back into the gym lifestyle, and I'm also cutting back on drinking alcohol.
Yes, that's huge.
And I think it's like I think basically in reality, like it went from like I don't know, say 3 to 4 days a week of drinking, like maybe like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe
Yeah.
sometimes Sunday. Basically, I kind of cut that down for like for like the last maybe 3 or 4 weeks down to like one day a weekend.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
yeah, and the thing is though, is like I want to migrate to something because I don't want to give up booze. I don't want to be like a big weirdo and just like oh I don't drink whatever. I think it's probably the biggest life hack you could probably do, but I'm not interested.
Yeah,
and
no, no,
yeah,
I totally agree with you. My girlfriend,
yeah,
she did it. She lasted like 20 days. She was doing dry
yeah,
January, but she said it was so hard, and
yeah,
she did lose some
yeah,
weight. But at the same time, it's like that shit's tough. And yeah, you're like a weirdo. It's like, well, why are you drinking? Like
yeah,
that's
exactly.
yeah,
This
yeah,
this is the culture we have now,
yep.
but it's definitely given me I feel like more energy, and I feel like I said once I get back in the gym consistently, and the thing is what I want to focus on, and we discussed this before, is I would get into the gym and be like, okay, I'm gonna 1 day cardio, 1 day lifting. The cardio just doesn't do it for me. It's
Yep.
really where it comes down to burning calories, more energy, feeling better, overall better appearances. Really, when it comes to lifting, so I really want to develop my lifting program a little bit more. So I was on a pretty good stretch there. I was in the gym for consistently probably about a year, and then uh, didn't really do much. But yeah, I think that's definitely what I'm
No-
gonna. The remainder of this week, I'll give you an update on next week on how it's going. But like just like I think in like even like a half hour to 45 minutes of just lifting a day.
oh yeah,
Let's see how
absolutely.
that goes. Yeah, but I'm interested in this because I'm always a guy like that. It's always what's worked for me is like just cutting things out, like cutting calories, all that kind of stuff, like just like salads, chicken and brown rice, that kind of thing. That seemed to work for me for a while there. But I think it's like really in reality pretty unrealistic to kind of just starve yourself practically, But these things you're sharing sound pretty good.
That's the way that I saw it. And like, is keto like an unrealistic thing to keep up your whole life? Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, I was, when I cut calories, I do feel like I'm starving. I feel like I'm hungry constantly,
Right.
and it just sucks. When I'm with keto, I'm eating really tasty food. Granted, there's no bread involved, but it's still really
Right.
good stuff, and it satisfies me.
Well, that's all
So
you can ask for.
yeah, absolutely. And I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember now. So
Oh
I
man, the vid brain fog getting to you again.
Dix, I'm not even lying. I am fogged up right now. It's really hard for me to keep track. I don't know why. I feel like I got a fever too. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no!
I'm not even joking. I'm sweating just sitting here. I got the.
That
But
Mississippi pot roast.
yeah, I'm thinking about it. I got the meat sweats over here.
When I had the vid at one point. I had a couple different forms of the vid, but the original vid, I just felt totally, completely wiped out. Never lost my taste or smell. And then my dear girlfriend had the vid, lost her taste and smell for a while, but it returned. But she claims that she still experiences episodes of the vid brain fog at times.
Oh man, it's really shitty. Like I don't
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it. I was like, I think I told you about this before, but just like sitting down to write on an email, and I was like trying to focus. I'm like, what am I even writing? What am I even talking about right now? It took me like a half hour to write like 5 sentences.
For me, it was like I'm a big domestic guy. I like taking on I like to do I like to do the chores.
Oh yeah. Oh, me
Wash
too.
dishes, laundry, all that kind of stuff. And I really had a hard time doing the chores, and I really can't have a hard time relaxing if the chores aren't done. Not that I'm like a Nazi regimental about these things, but I like things to be clean, and neat. And I had a hard time doing that during the vid, which was definitely a change for me.
I'm sure that was tough. You were probably like, oh, I can't bring myself to do this, but at the same time, I can't relax until it's done.
Yeah, so like a weird thing of being just feeling like totally incapacitated, but like also on edge.
Man, that's quite a conundrum. That sounds like hell.
What a scenario!
Oh god.
But that was about like I had it for like a good solid like 2.5 weeks. I was definitely like sick.
Yeah, and I'm still, like I said, I'm still feeling it. I'm not. I could feel the congestion when I'm talking.
Right.
But the cough is gone. But like I said, the slight congestion, the lack of taste and smell, and just that fog, that like slight fatigue that I have, it's bizarre.
Yeah. Well, everybody, drop a comment below. Wish Ice well.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah. And please join our other 2 subscribers and subscribe. Join us on this journey.
Yeah. Actually, don't think about it. It's the least you could do. We're giving you free content. Just free content for now until we become monetized. Then you're gonna have to sit and watch the ads. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, please subscribe. And honestly, comment. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know if you like the topics that we bring every single week to you guys, or let us know if there's something you want us to discuss, because I'm down to talk about anything, and I love it.
Absolutely. You can do us a service by asking us a question. Dropping your name. If your name's Doreen, say hello.
Sorry, Doreen.
Yeah, we'll give you a shout out on the next show.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. Well, hey, thanks for battling the vid and doing a second show, and really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anything for you, anything for this show.
Yeah, absolutely. The show must go on.
Must go on. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for listening. This was episode number 10. We'll see you next week for number 11. We're in the double digits now.
Oh, man. Peace.